Good morning, Homestead. Before we begin the Pledge of Allegiance, we want to remind you why we are missing school on Monday. It isn't a day off just to help us get caught up with our schoolwork. It's a federal holiday to honor a man who fought for the fair rights for all people. His activism wasn't based on any particular color, gender, religious belief, or sexuality, but anyone who was discriminated against unfairly. If you get a moment this weekend, please remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and all that he stood and fought for so that all Americans could have equal rights. At this moment, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now for a moment of silence.
Hello, Homestead. It's Friday, January 15th, and time for an all-new HHS In Depth. I'm Casey Stanley.
And I'm Madison McConaughey.
Today's show includes stories about the upcoming Pennies for Patients campaign, which benefits Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and how a Woodside 7th grader who fought the disease can help put a face to the cause.
You'll learn all about one of the most vital resources within the walls of Homestead, our school's nurses, and how a normal day works for them.
A course at Homestead that many students don't know about is the internship program, taught by Mr. Rogers. We'll bring you a story to show you what it's all about and how you can get involved.
And Austin Render is back with another sports corner this week, getting us caught up with our boys basketball team.
We'll have all those stories and more, so stay tuned for another edition of HHS In Depth.
And the world is made of energy, and the world is electricity, and the world is made of energy, and there's a lot inside of you, and there's a lot inside of me, and the world is made of energy, and the world is synchronicity, and the world is made of energy, and there's a lot inside of you, and there's a lot inside of me. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright.
We begin today's show with a story about the upcoming Pennies for Patients campaign at Homestead. I recently had a chance to sit down with Woodside 7th grader Cora Walrind to learn more about her remarkable cancer-fighting story.
Every year, Homestead participates in the Pennies for Patients fundraiser. What you may not have known is that these donations are directly helping people diagnosed with leukemia and lymphoma. The disease has affected many people nationwide, but has recently hit close to home in our very own school district when Woodside Middle Schooler Cora Walrind was diagnosed.
We were crying a lot and we were scared and we just didn't know what was going to happen. And then we had to go to Riley and get my port placed in a bone marrow biopsy to see what stage it was. And we found out it was stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. And we were really scared because stage 4 is the worst it can get, really. And we didn't know what would happen then.
Cora is now fully in remission and has just been named the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society Girl of the Year.
As Girl of the Year, I encourage people to support this cause because they're the only ones that helped us pay the bills, and they understand what we've been through, and they want to help us try to forget it all.
To show your support for the cause and Cora, Homestead Student Government is asking students to bring in their donations.
The Penny Wars will be held in your 5th period class. Every penny is worth 1 point. Bills and larger coins are deductions for your points. So a quarter is 25 points and a dollar bill is 100, etc. Students are encouraged to sabotage other classrooms by putting larger bills and larger coins into other rooms' boxes. However, you cannot take anything out of the boxes or exchange anything within the box.
The competition's main goal is to raise money and awareness, but there will also be rewards for the winning classes.
There will be 2 prizes. The class that raises the most money will get a Chick-fil-A catering, and the class that wins the Penny War will get a pizza party. Our goal is to raise $2,400.
The Pennies for Patients competition starts this month, so look for the boxes in your 5th period class and bring in your change. For HHS In Depth, I'm Casey Stanley.
If you have misplaced something, please go to the Discipline or Dean of Students office to check in the lost and found. If you have found something that doesn't belong to you, please deliver it to these same offices at your earliest convenience.
The campaign to get rid of the R word asks people to pledge to stop saying the R word as a starting point toward creating more accepting attitudes and communities for all people. Language affects attitudes, and attitudes affect actions. You can take the pledge today to use respectful, people-first language by signing the poster in the back of the cafeteria at lunch.
Are you taking the SAT or ACT soon and want to increase your score? The SAT-ACT prep class will begin a new session on Tuesday, January 19th for math and Wednesday, January 20th for verbal. Classes run for 6 weeks from 5:30 to 7:30 in the evening. You can sign up for one or both sessions. You will receive the College Board SAT book with your registration. Sign-up forms can be found in Student Services with Mr. Staley in room 517 or on our school's website.
And now here's a story over a place that no one wants to visit, but nearly all of us have, the nurse's office. HHS In-Depth reporter Nathan Vasquez brings you a story about the daily routine of our school nurses.
Many students here at Homestead go throughout their school day unaware of the school nurses and what they do here as a part of their job.
Here at Homestead, we have a lot of kiddos, so we see a lot of our injured, our kids that we see on a normal basis that get daily meds. If you need an elevator pass, you come and see us. If you have any restrictions in any of your classes, you get those passes from us.
When there aren't any students in here, we're responsible for making sure that all the students are up to date on their immunizations. So that's a pretty tedious task with having almost 2,500 students in the building. That keeps us pretty busy, and then we also check the AED machines that are located throughout the school to make sure they're always up and able to work in an emergency.
Like any typical nurse you see in a hospital, our nurses here at Homestead went through the same schooling to receive their license.
Kelly and I both went to Homestead, and then we both went on to have a 4-year degree. Mine happens to be from IU, and with Bloomington campus, most everybody has to go to Indianapolis to complete their nursing degree. So I have a bachelor's in nursing, science of nursing from IU.
Instead of working in a hospital, our nurses chose to work in a school setting to have a more personal involvement with younger people, like the students of Homestead.
I started in the hospital just to get all the experiences, but I've always wanted to do community nursing because it entails more teaching and more of a personal interaction with kids.
So I love being a nurse because I get to help those in need. You know, when you come and see a nurse, you typically are at your worst the majority of the time. You're not feeling good and you just need somebody to care, and that's why we're here.
If you need to see the nurse, they are located across from the IMC in the main hallway.
Students can come to the nurse if they get a pass from their teacher, and then they can come and sign in with their pass and come back and see us. We just don't allow them during passing periods unless it's an emergency, because then attendance gets messed up and a lot of teachers wouldn't know where their kids are.
If you're interested in becoming a nurse, they would be happy to talk to you and point you in the right direction.
Kelly or I would be happy to talk to anybody that's interested in nursing. Of course, your school counselors know probably much more than we know about Purdue and IU, so come and see us.
So now that you've learned about our school nurses, stop down there and give them thanks for the service they provide here at Homestead. Reporting for HHS In-Depth, I'm Nathan Vasquez.
Seniors, the Kilboard Scholarship information is now available in Student Services. This scholarship is guaranteed to be awarded to 12 Homestead students. Seniors who are involved in the community or at school are in the top 50% of the class and involved in some church or religious organization are eligible. Financial need is a factor in determining the amount of the award. See Mrs. Fitt in Student Services for information on how to apply.
Efforts are now underway to get a ping pong club up and running here at Homestead. If you want to help them figure out how to make this work, there will be a meeting in Mr. Hill's room, room 210, after school next Wednesday, January 20th.
Model UN will have a mandatory meeting today after school in room 121. All members should plan to attend.
The next Latin Club meeting is Tuesday, January 19th, after school in room 607. They will be discussing Indiana Latin Week and your upcoming service project.
An alternative to the traditional senior schedule, the internship program, is currently taking place right here at Homestead. I recently had a chance to visit Mr. Rogers and some of the students involved in the program that offers real-life work experience and more insight on the career fields they are pursuing. Many students already take advantage of the senior experience or the various other higher ed opportunities Homestead offers, but few utilize the internship program and all of its benefits.
A lot of Homestead students, I don't think, realize the opportunities that they have here at Homestead compared to other high schools. We have so many different unique opportunities, the internship program being one. As an intern, you can, let's say you want to get into the medical field. You can actually go like to Lutheran Hospital and rotate to different units and say, yeah, this is something that I definitely really want to do. But also it will allow you to maybe realize, this isn't something that I want to do. And that is a success in itself because it saves a lot of time and money in college going and pursuing something that you really end up aren't going to be using.
Seniors Gabby Meisner and Akira Ezecuto both participate in the internship program, allowing them to better explore their desired career fields.
I'm in the internship program for both semesters this year. So last semester I did it at Cyclone Social, which is a social media marketing agency. This semester I opted to go kind of internally within a business and do marketing for them. So I'm going potentially to be doing marketing at St. Francis. So a lot of their ad campaigns around town to get local kids interested in going to St. Francis is primarily what I'll be doing.
I'm an intern at Lutheran Hospital, and as an intern, a lot of times since we're not like actual medical professionals, we're not allowed to like do too much like patient-to-patient contact. I think the biggest advantage for me was just talking to people in the medical field, talking to physical therapists and occupational therapists and nurses and just learning from them.
The internship program not only offers real-world experience, it helps students to make connections and explore their possible future careers.
So the internship experience gives you kind of an edge when going into college. Already having that in high school is already going to give you an edge. And when you're seeking an internship in college, it'll be a lot easier, or it'll make you more competitive with other college kids trying to find an internship.
The benefit of being an intern is that it forces you out of your comfort zone. Like, I'm not a shy person, period, like in general, but going to this internship and being like in a real world with real life experience forced me to go out of my comfort zone and make opportunities for myself.
An internship looks amazing on a college application. Really any extracurricular, anything extra that you do throughout the school day to set yourself apart, all of those things, including the internship program, look great on a college application, look great on a resume.
If you want to learn more about the internship program and all it entails, attend the informational meeting Wednesday the 18th in Mr. Rogers' room, room 527. For HHS In Depth, I'm Madison McConaughey.
This week you have probably heard a lot about the late David Bowie. If you've never listened to his music or want to know more about him, go out to the next Audio Aficionados on Monday, January 25th at 2:45 in room 600B, the radio room. They will be listening to Bowie's 1972 album, Ziggy Stardust.
Juniors and seniors, application packets for the annual Dirty Duckers and Notorious Netter competition are now available. Please have one person from your team pick up a packet in Student Services. Applications will be due January 27th.
Fall sports patches are in. Please go to the athletic office to pick up your patch as soon as possible.
Any male interested in track and field must attend a mandatory meeting on Wednesday, January 20th. The meeting will be held at 2:45 in room 727. If you have questions or a conflict, please see Mr. Livensparger, Mr. Dillman, or Mr. Gale.
And now here is Austin Render with another Sports Corner. This week we learn about our boys basketball team as well as details about the Champions Together game that takes place tonight between the girls and boys games against Snyder.
Hello Homestead, I'm Austin Render back with another edition of the Sports Corner. The Homestead boys basketball season is well underway. As of today, the boys sit at 6-3 and undefeated in conference play. This week I got to attend a practice to talk to the players about their thoughts on how the season has started.
The defending state champion boys basketball team has started the season 6-3 and 3-0 in conference. The team is full of new faces, but Coach Johnson enjoys the new group that he has this year.
I like this group of young men. They're playing hard. They're playing together. They believe in each other, and hopefully we as a coaching staff are putting them in a good position to be successful.
It's been fun. The little younger guys, teach them some of the ways of the game, playing varsity and stuff. It's been a fun year so far, and we hope to go far.
We've had a lot of good games. We've had a couple of bad games. I think overall we're playing well as a team, and I think we just need to get better every day in practice.
One of the returnees for the Spartans is senior guard Taj Curry, who's having a phenomenal season.
He's a great leader in practice and in the games. He can get to the basket at ease, and he can also shoot the three ball. He's a great player, great teammate.
We need his leadership. Him and Jake Wolfkale are two returning players from last year's team. So we need them to be the leaders. We need them to show these younger kids what it's all about, to be a part of a successful ball club. And so far, you know, they're buying into and being those leaders.
But the good record doesn't mean there isn't room for improvement for the Spartans.
We have to get better each and every week. Again, our goal is not to be, you know, playing our best at the beginning of the year, but playing our best at the end of the year. And I think we are taking and making a lot of strides from where we were from just the start of the season, you know, a month and a half ago to where we are today.
I feel like I played good, but you know, my guy Parker, come here. You know, he's played good this year. You know, my guy Jack, come here. My guy Brandon, come here. You know, Jake Wolfcamp, baby, come here. Hurry up, Jake. We ain't got enough time, man. You know, hey, we've all played good. This starting five right here, everybody on the team's been playing good. You know, the reserve's been helping us in practice. You know, we getting better. My boy Dirty Rick right here, baby. It's been a team effort. It's been a team effort. You know, everybody on the team's been playing hard. You know, so it's been good playing with these guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Spartans take on 7-2 Snyder tonight right after the girls' game. The theme is the Blue Champions Together t-shirt or just wear blue.
Over on the girls' side of basketball, our Lady Spartans defeated the number 4 and number 6 ranked teams in Indiana over winter break and just recently defeated number 10 Carmel on Saturday. The Lady Spartans are 16-0 and ranked number 1 in the state and will play Snyder tonight at 6 o'clock. Between those games tonight, there will be a 15-minute Champions Together exhibition game between the Special Olympians of Homestead High School. You can get into the game tonight with the purchase of the Champions Together t-shirt today at lunch for $10. All proceeds go to Champions Together and Special Olympics at Homestead and the state of Indiana. Your inclusion in this movement is much needed and greatly appreciated. That's going to wrap up this edition of the Sports Corner. I'm Austin Render.
Well, that wraps up this edition of HHS In Depth. I'm Casey Stanley.
And I'm Madison McConaughey. Thank you for watching today.
And now, here are this week's Pictures of the Week. Congratulations to this week's winners, seniors Tori Oglesby and Riley Kroll. To submit your photo for Picture of the Week, just email a high-resolution photo with your name and grade level to hhsindepth@gmail.com.
Today we leave you with a song exclusive to Homestead's radio station, The Point 91 FM. And to help The Point name their new afternoon block of shows, follow them on Twitter at The Point 91 and vote in their latest poll.
Enjoy your 3-day weekend, and we'll see you again next Friday.
There are waves below, nowhere to run, nowhere to go. And I'm always trying to find where the mission parts go, fill up my heart. This desert's cold, and nobody knows where this all goes, wherever it goes. But there's this girl that I know, and I found her all alone. She loves me all when I'm feeling low. Oh, come get the spirit. Oh, come get the spirit. Oh, come get the spirit. Oh, come get that spirit. Come get the spirit.